Previously, on keeping up with the Kenya Kwanza government.
Mimi najua hiyo document vile inasema. Kuna vitu inasema lazima zifanyike na most of the responsibility is actually on Kenya Kwanza because they're the ones in power.
Is a political storm brewing between Raila Odinga and President William Ruto over the much-hyped memorandum of understanding?
A hand applause to the two party leaders.
Kenyans are starting to wonder if this alliance is less of a handshake and more of a tug of war in slow motion. And for weeks now, the nation has been fed a steady diet of political buffet.
Position that has been taken by the party.
Okay.
And in fact, the tiff that I was getting into with some of these characters from Kenya Kwanza is that we have not had the president defending devolution. In fact, he's an enemy of devolution when he stands up and says, leave it to me.
To me.
Yeah, that is not what the constitution says. He has national roads to deal with. Na zimemshinda. So awache governors wafanye county roads as required by the constitution.
Ruto's brigade seems to have interpreted the MOU as a full-on political adoption. If you are ODM, you are now a card-carrying member of the praise and worship team in President Ruto's government. Sing for supper, applaud the president, and please, no off-key notes of dissent.
And Your Excellency, I know but your time is pressing us. We must also stop this habit where leaders come and lecture you. I saw the other day this man smoking bang called Wachakoya in a funeral. Coming to the stage and say, Your Excellency, we want to tell you, go and do this and this and this. You are the President of the Republic of Kenya. We have given you the power by the people. And no single idler should lecture you and push you like a child. We are 100% behind you. And we want to pray that God will continue to take us. Just kuise maneno yangu imepunguzika kidogo baada ile impeachment ile maneno watu walisema grow mimi niliwachana nayo yote and nowadays I'm born again. Na asante sana Your Excellency na karibu Kericho.
But on the flip side, Raila's team is yelling, not so fast. They insist the MOU wasn't a surrender note. It was more of a handshake with fingers crossed behind the back. Now the party insists it is still waving the banner of the common mwananchi, even if the banner now occasionally flats uncomfortably close to State House.
I think it is clear what the MOU specifies on the things that we were supposed to work together. And I think there are people who don't like me as SG reminding them what the actual content of the document is because many of them have not even read that document. Mimi najua hiyo document vile inasema. Kuna vitu inasema lazima zifanyike na most of the responsibility is actually on Kenya Kwanza because they're the ones in power. So job yangu mimi nilisema niko na marking scheme. Kazi yangu ni kuangalia tu kuna 10 points pale. Hii ya kwanza mmefanya, hii ya pili mmefanya, hii ya tatu mmefanya. Tulisikizana counties zipewe 450 billion. Ukinipea 4 or 5 inamaanisha nini? Tulisikizana hakuna mambo ya kuabduct vijana. Ukiabduct mtu inamaanisha nini? Tulisikizana kwamba political parties ziheshimiwe na msiingilie mambo ya vyama vingine. Ukithreaten SG wa chama kingine inamaanisha nini? Umekiuka mkataba. Sasa mimi kazi yangu ni kuweka marking scheme. Na siku ile unajua kutakuwa na report card. Sasa mimi kazi yangu ni kutoa tunasema 10 points ndio hizi, out of 10 umepata 1. Nakupea E.
So who is fooling who? Can the common mwananchi really trust ODM to still wear the people's colors while occasionally borrowing the government's jersey?
Demokrasia kila mtu akuna haki ya kuongea.
Raila Odinga says yes. In fact, he is ready to swear on a stack of Bibles or at least microphones. He is adamant that their party hasn't lost its moral compass, and to prove it, he points to recent verbal missiles launched by ODM members at State House. Far from being betrayal, Raila Odinga claims these jabs are evidence of his team's loyalty to the people, not the palace.
Demokrasia kila mtu akuna haki ya kuongea. Sama ya ODM tuliamua kwamba sisi tutakuwa na uhusiano. Lakini kukuwa na uhusiano sio kusema ya kwamba sisi yote tumeingia kwa serikali. Kwa mfano mnajua kule Amerikani serikali iko sasa ni ya Republican. Now they have a Republican government. But they used to have a Democratic government under Mr. Biden. Biden had some ministers who are members of the Republican Party, respect to the fact that that was a Democratic administration. Likewise, even Mr. Trump have got some ministers who are members of the Democratic Party. I'm saying Biden had ministers who are members of the Republican Party, and he was a Democratic president. And Trump has also got some Democrats in his cabinet today. There's no collision between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party in the U.S. Secondly, we are running what is called a presidential system of government. We don't have opposition benches and government benches. We have what is called parliament as an institution. Parliament oversight the government. The executive implements policies. Parliament passes laws, and the executive uses those laws to govern the country. And then the judiciary, which interprets the laws. So there's really no collusion between ODM, no collusion between ODM and UDA. But it is an arrangement which is based on an MOU which was signed between us, and it was on open daylight. And there are very clear points in that MOU, 6 or 10 of them. And they're very explicit indeed. That's the reason why I don't see why people are bickering. When Mr. James Orengo talks, he's talking on the basis of a MOU between ODM and UDA. Orengo has not committed any crime. He has got a democratic right to say what you're saying. When Professor Jang Nyong'o speaks about devolution, he is talking the language of ODM. And I said it when we were in Siaya, that devolution was the most important feature of this new constitution. Ugatuzi ni muhimu zaidi katika katiba hii ambayo tulitoa Bomas. Ugatuzi. Lakini ugatuzi hajafanya kazi kwa sababu hatujatekeleza kulingana na sheria ambayo iko ndani ya katiba. Devolution has not been implemented the way it should be implemented. That's why the people are not reaping the benefits of devolution. You have devolved some responsibilities, but you have not devolved the funds to give the counties the power, financial power to implement those functions. Health is a devolved function, but most of the funds are held up in Nairobi. Why should the national government be holding over 100 billion shillings, yet the health function is devolved? That is not should not be the case. The other issue is the issue of infrastructure, roads. I said that I am the one who actually informed Kura, Kera, and Kenha. But that was during the unitary system of government. Now in a devolved system of government, you don't need Kura and Kera. Why should the national government be having roads in Homa Bay? Why should they be having roads? The national government should only be responsible for international highways, national highways, and the trunk roads. But all these feeder roads within the counties should be the responsibility of the county government. Devolve funds and give those funds to the governors. Then they will be able to implement the program. Why should the national government be having roads in Kisumu town, city? Why should they be having roads in Mombasa city? You go to Mombasa city, many roads are not county government roads. Nairobi city itself, there are so many roads which the Nairobi county government is not allowed to touch. Why should Kera be having roads in Nairobi city or Kura? These are issues which we need to discuss openly. Devolution is not working. Some people say that, oh, too much money is going to recurrent expenditure in the counties, 50% and so on.
But can you still trust Raila Odinga? What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts on our comment section. That is it for now. Thanks for watching. Let's meet next time. Bye-bye.